Hello, welcome to Zen Soul Balance. I am Jenny, and today's practice is going to be a Yin Yoga stretch. If you have been traveling, it will be great for you to find some relief around the hips, the low back, and the shoulders. Let's dive right into the practice by coming into a comfortable seated position. Legs can be crossed or out in front of you. Take a moment to roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Find a softness in the face. Let the eyelids become heavy and start to deepen your breath. Nice deep inhalation and lengthen your exhalation. Start to let go of the day. Let the shoulders begin to relax, melting away from your ears. Feel the support of the ground beneath you. And let's take a nice deep breath in as you raise your arms up over your head. Palms touch. Cactus the arms, baby back bend, lift your chin up. Take a nice deep breath in, rise the arms up, palms touch. And exhale, cactus the arms. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice deep breath in, rise up. Exhale as you cactus the arms. And 1 more time, nice deep breath in, fill all the way up. And exhale as you cactus the arms. 1 more time, nice deep breath in, palms touch. This time draw the hands down to heart center. Take a nice deep breath in, fill all the way up. And a clearing breath out. Release the arms down by your side and start to roll the shoulders in a circular motion. Breathing into any areas where you feel tightness or tension. And allow any stress, any worries, any fears to roll off. Reverse the direction, slow it down and breathe a little deeper. And now relax the shoulders, let the shoulders melt away from the ears and slowly draw the chin down towards your chest and invite a gentle sway of the head from side to side, releasing any tension around the neck. And make your way back to center. Slowly lift your chin to neutral. And now release the legs out in front of you with the knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. The hands can come back behind you and heel toe the feet out towards the edges of the mat and start to sway the legs in a windshield wiper motion, loosening up around the low back and the hips. And if it feels good to dip the upper body in the opposite direction of the legs, gentle spinal twist. So inhale to center, exhale as you dip and gently twist. And let's go a couple more times on each side. And when you're balanced out, you'll come back to center. We'll move into deer pose. Right leg comes out in front of you. The shin is parallel to the top of the mat and swing the left leg back behind you. So working into the right outer hip gluteal region. The right foot can be up against the left knee, or if you're not feeling sensation in that right outer hip, when you tilt your torso forward, you can draw that left leg back a little bit further behind you, and perhaps you slide the leg back even more. Maybe you tilt the pelvis down if you would like to come into swan pose. For some people, this is a better stretch for that right outer hip. We'll hold this for about 10 rounds of deep breath. So rearrange the legs in a way that makes sense for you, and so that you can receive an effective stretch in that right outer hip. And start to breathe deeply into this. Let the shoulders relax once again. And breathe into any areas where you feel tightness around the hips. And exhale out the tension. And 3 more deep breaths. And take an open mouth exhalation when the time feels right for you. And slowly begin to release out of the shape. Draw both legs out in front of you. Lay the legs down flat. The hands can come back behind you and take just a brief pause here. Let the body process that. Notice what you feel on the right side versus the left side. And now take a nice deep breath in, fill all the way up. Clearing breath out through the mouth. Let's bend the knees once again. Feet come to the mat. Feet out a little wider than hip width apart. Once again, a little sway from side to side, flushing out any stagnation and creating a little more space around the hips. And one more time on each side. And come back to center. This time the left leg comes out in front of you. Left shin is parallel to the top of the mat to begin. Lean yourself over to the left. Draw that right leg back behind you. The left foot is up against that right knee to begin. Tilt your torso forward and then start to rearrange your legs here so that you receive an effective stretch on that left outer hip gluteal region. You can draw that right leg back a little further. Maybe you stretch the leg all the way back behind you and tilt the pelvis down. And take the time that you need here to explore until you receive the stretch that you need in the target area on that left side. And then we'll start to breathe deeply into this. 10 rounds of deep breath here. You can always readjust your shape if it's not working well for you by bending or straightening or rearranging the angle. A softness in the face and just a few more rounds of breath here. A little deeper, perhaps taking an open mouth sigh. And slowly begin to make your way out of the shape once again. Come into a seated position with the legs out in front of you, hands back behind you. Just a brief pause here. Nice deep breath in. Detoxifying breath out. Start to point and flex the feet. And circle out the ankles a couple times in each direction. And let's give the legs a little shake out, just clearing any stuck energy. And then from here, begin to ease yourself into tabletop pose, all fours. Knees about hip width apart, hands beneath the shoulders. We'll move into a yang activation, stretch out the calves, tuck the toes, lift the hips up towards the sky, top of the skull goes down towards the mat. Start to pedal out the legs here, maybe a little sway of the hips from side to side, feels good for you. And perhaps sway of the head as well, side to side, forward and back, releasing tension around the neck and the shoulders. And let's come back to center. Step forward with that right foot. Come into a low lunge position. Lower the left knee down. You may choose to use padding underneath that knee. The left toes can be tucked, or you can release the foot to lay it down onto your mat. Stretching out that left hip flexor region, psoas. We'll shift the weight forward and back a few times. As you shift back, right leg straightens and stretch the hamstring group on the back side of that right leg. And as you shift forward, bend the right knee. A little sway from side to side will help you get into that famous psoas that holds tension for so many of us. Forward and back at your own pace, breathing a little deeply. And next time your weight is shifted forward and that right knee is bent, lift your chest up just a little more. The chin is neutral or elevated, and breathe a little deeper here. Feel that nice juicy stretch in that left front side of the thigh and hip flexor group. These are the muscles that often get so tense for us whenever we sit for long periods of time, traveling, working at a desk. And now slowly begin to make your way out. Draw that right knee back to meet the left. Come into a child's pose just for a couple rounds of breath here. Knees go out to the outer edges of the mat. Forehead comes down. Relax the shoulders. Feel a softness around the hips and the low back. A little sway of the hips from side to side. And now slowly begin to ease yourself up into tabletop pose. Once again, tuck the toes, lift your hips up towards the sky, pedal out the legs. Feel that nice stretch in the calves. And back to center. This time step forward with that left foot, come into a low lunge, right knee comes down. Release that right foot if that feels good for you, or keep the toes tucked. And start to shift the weight forward and back. Fold over that left leg. Feel the stretch in the back side of the thigh. And as you shift forward and bend the left knee, feel the stretch in the front side of that right thigh. So as hip flexor region, maybe a little sway from side to side helps you get deeper into it without being too aggressive. And forward and back a few more times at your own pace. Breathe into the tightness and exhale out the tension. And next time your weight is shifted forward and that left knee is bent, lift the chin, lift the chest, and breathe. Slowly begin to ease yourself out. Draw that left leg back to meet the right. Knees out a little bit wider. Take your child's pose. Hips sit back and down towards the heels. Hands reach out in front of you. Forehead comes down. And now slowly begin to ease yourself up and out of your child's pose. Release the legs out in front of you and come down onto your stomach. Rolling cobra to create a little more space in the shoulders. Step out to either side with your hands. Come onto the tips of your fingers. Take a nice deep breath in as you peel the chest away from the mat. Dip your right shoulder, look over the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, dip the left shoulder, look over the right. Flow from side to side at your own pace. Inhaling to center, dip one shoulder, look over the other. Another couple times on each side. And when you're balanced out, we'll come back to center. Crocodile pose, stack one forearm on top of the other. Rest your forehead there. Bend the knees, let the feet go up towards the sky and take a little sway of the legs from side to side. Come back to center and slowly lower one leg at a time down to the mat. And roll yourself over onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a hold of the shins or back sides of the thighs. A little sway from side to side may feel good for you. And from here, any final movements that you need to make. Give yourself permission to take at least 1 minute in Shavasana, your final resting pose. Just find a position where you can fully relax and let everything go. And take one final deep breath in, fill all the way up, purifying oxygen. Detoxifying breath out. And stay in your Shavasana as long as you need to. Releasing, letting go. Feel yourself fully surrendering. Melting into the space beneath you. Full body relaxation. Allow the body to recalibrate. to rejuvenate and to process this practice, feeling more spacious, feeling more grounded, and just be. Feel the waves of peace and calm as they wash over you.